thing about him. You know, he was so top of his game from every aspect, from everything that he did in the studio right up to everything that he did on stage. And for me, that's just the most incredible thing, you know.
I mean, he was one of these guys. There's certain guys who can perform on stage and they go, wow. Well, there's the likes of, should we say, Elvis Presley, a few others, but Jackson took it to the next level, didn't he? Really did.
He was amazing, and you know, I was lucky enough to see Michael Jackson in 1993 at the Dangerous tour, and you know, the way he commanded a stage was just incredible. You know, I've seen many performers since then, and nobody's ever come close to the kind of showmanship that he had.
And that's part of it.
Amazing.
You say you're a huge fan of Michael and well, I guess of the Jackson 5 as well, or the Jacksons as they were known. Is there any other sort of musical artists you like?
You know, I absolutely, you know, I live for music. If somebody said tomorrow that nobody could ever play music again, I think, you know, I would just end it all. There would be no point in me, you know, staying on the planet, because I from the moment that I wake up, I put music on and in everything I do, there's always music happening in the background. And I love everything. I love country, I love soul, I love all the Motown stuff. I love 70s music, 80s music, 90s music. You know, I love it all. I wouldn't say there's a genre that I haven't, you know, tapped into at some point. And for that reason, you know, I have just like a whole soundtrack to my life for music. And but my top artists at the moment would probably be like Amy Winehouse. Taylor Swift is amazing. There's hundreds, you know. I love Cher. I think what she's done with herself over the years has been incredible. The way she's innovated to each, you know, specific era and everything. I think it's all incredible.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I just love music. End of story, you know.
It's amazing how some of the artists sort of, you know, like Cher and obviously Madonna, she sort of, every 5 years, there's a new Madonna, isn't there? Somebody else. So it's a bit like Michael Jackson. He sort of started off as a little boy doing Rockin' Robin and Ben and all those sort of things with his brothers, and then he went on and did the other stuff. And then really when he became a man, he was, whoa, giving it some, wasn't he? You know, he held nothing back, shall we say, no more than that.
Absolutely. I mean, he was inspired by the greats, and he became greater. And that was because he just worked tirelessly to innovate himself and create a you know, if you think about it, he was probably the first kind of manufactured pop star, if you like, and the first superstar, you know, and he did that through being able to tap into what people would love and what would really, you know, mesmerize people. Have
you? You said you went to see Michael a few years ago. Have you ever had any contact with the Jackson family about your act, or has there been any comments or any emails, any sort of correspondence with the Jackson family?
Not at the moment. I mean, I met people through what I do that knew him and that have worked with him, and there's, you know, incredible stories like that I could tell you. But with the Jackson family, I mean, every time that there has been an opportunity for me to meet somebody from the Jackson camp, it's kind of been thrown out because I've been working. You know, I've been so busy. I mean, we really did. We wanted to arrange something when he came over to London, but obviously that never ever, you know, materialized. But no, I haven't met anybody as yet. I hope that they see what I'm doing, and I hope they enjoy it. You know.
Yeah, plus you could send them a couple of YouTube clips over and say, have a look at this, see what you think. Because, I mean, obviously Michael's death, which was, a few years ago now, wasn't it? About 3-4 years ago? Or was it longer than that?
5, yeah.
That must have affected you, A, as a performer, and B, your show, because of, I guess it made you more popular in many ways.
First and foremost, I felt like I'd lost a family. You know, you have to think that what I've done with myself literally since I left school has all been because of him and because of what he did, and everything I have around me. You know, my friends, my family, my possessions. You know, are all because of what, you know, he did as a career, and so first and foremost, I felt like, I lost a brother or something. I could still get very upset about it now when I think about it. And yes, it was, there was a huge surge in my work.
I bet so,
as you can imagine.
Yeah, because they can't see the real thing now. So I mean, you are as close to the real thing as people are going to see. I mean, it's well known. I think I'm not going to be giving anything away, but you are as close as the real thing without being the real thing, if you understand what I'm saying. And everybody else understands at home what I'm saying. I mean, it's well known.
I hope so. I hope that, I'm not one of those that wants anybody to think that I am Michael Jackson or I'm taking over from Michael Jackson whatsoever. That's not the idea. The idea is just to continue the legacy of somebody that, impacted so heavily on my life and millions of lives all over the world.
That's
and
right.
That for me is very important for people to remember what a talented, incredible person that was.
I mean, I don't know if you want to comment on this story. I heard a story it was told to me by somebody who knew or met Michael Jackson. They went along to see the show as his personal guest, and I won't say who this was. And he said if you want to come back with me, you have to leave before the encore. And the story was that the encore was never done by Michael, but some people very much like yourselves who were like tribute acts or sound-alikes or look-alikes, and the encore, so he could get out of the arena without anybody harassing him. I mean, I don't know how true that was. I was told that by somebody on very good authority, somebody who's in the show business world who knew Michael or met Michael Jackson once, and they were told to leave as soon as the encore started, to leave the theatre to meet up with Michael so they could go back with him. And I don't know. I wasn't quite sure how true it was, and whether you'd like to comment on it. You don't have to comment on it. I heard this story.
I know that during his Dangerous tour, which is the tour that I saw, the finale of the show would be Michael Jackson would be dressed into a rocket pack and flown out of the arena.
Wow!
And I know that during the dressing of him into rocket pack, attire, he switched places with the stuntman. So that might be what they're talking about.
That might be what they're talking about. Anyway, we're almost at
he was definitely on stage till the end.
He was he?
History and Bad Tours, that's for sure.
And of course you will be as well. Anyway, let's talk about the dates. We have 5 dates locally, starting on the 24th of May. You're at the Watford Coliseum, and then on the 30th of May you go to the Radlett Centre, and then coming to June, on the 21st of June you're at the Gordon Craig in Stevenage. Then on the 2nd of July you go to the Swan in High Wycombe, and then finally in the area, not finally forever, but finally in the area, on the 17th of July you're at the Stables in Milton Keynes, or in Wavendon as they call it.
Absolutely, we certainly are.
That is, I mean, even that five dates in that short time. I mean, I looked at your tour schedule, and it is it's Michael Jackson-esque. Also, people can keep in touch with you. You have your own website. It's jacksonliveinconcert.co.uk.
Yep, and we're also on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and so we're connected out there to the people. So if anybody has any questions or wants to see footage of the show, they can view it all through those sites just by kind of searching my name on those sites. So Ben, Michael Jackson, or Jackson Live in Concert Ben, anything like that, and you should come across us.
Yeah, the Twitter's Jackson Live Ben, and the Facebook's Jackson Live in Concert Ben. And it's a must for all Michael Jackson fans, and even people who don't like Michael Jackson. Apparently, you're the great converter. Anyhow, thank you very much for your time today, Ben. It's been an absolute pleasure. We're going to be playing this. What you sent me. It's an excerpt from some of your concert live, and it's just amazing how close to Michael Jackson you sound. Thank you very much for your time today, Ben. Good luck with the tour, and anybody who wants to book tickets, first show is on the 24th of May, Sunday the 24th of May, and you've got right through to July to catch Ben in the area. Thank you very much today, Ben. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
Before we hear from Ben, a quick couple of events. This weekend, we got on Saturday the 23rd, we've got a voluntary organisation called M&G Productions. They're hosting their first ever taster session for over 18s. creative media skills in fashion, graphic design, hair, makeup, styling, artistry, singing, dancing, writing, acting and post-production. That's at the MK YMCA at 1 North 6th Street, and that starts this Saturday from 12:30 till 4:30. Go along there. Also, an event I mentioned last week, on Sunday the 24th, is a charity pig roast over at the ground at Havisham. Book your tickets by calling 01908 313 487. Big thank you today to Niall Allen from Only Men Aloud and Ben from Jackson for being my guest. Next week I'm joined by percussionist of the Moody Blues, Nora Mullin. She's going to be talking about her life with the Moody Blues and about when she played on Toy Story. So tune in next week for that. As always, I've been Terry Sullivan. This has been the Sticks Radio Show. Until next week, it's bye for now, and I leave you with the sound of Ben from Jackson in concert.
All the worlds come together. It's the problems that we see them in. Somehow we can work it out. I asked my neighbor for a favor. She said, later, what has come of all the people? Have we discovered what it's about? I have to find my beat. No one's here to let me be. Horse prophets cry out, don't what are the possibilities? I told my brothers there'll be problem times and tears for fears. We must live each day like in the land. Go with it. It ain't too much. Stop. It ain't too much. It ain't too much for me. It ain't too much. Stop. It ain't too much. It ain't too much for me. The work is changing, rearranging minds and thoughts, predictions fly of doom. Baby boom has come up, which we're working on. I told my brothers, don't you ask me no. I'm conditioned by the system, don't you talk to me, don't scream and shout. She prayed to God to put, then she sang the time is on. Confusions contradict themselves, do we know right from wrong? I just want you to recognize me in the temple. And hurry out my beat within myself, go with it.
Stand, moving up my hand. Let me fucking dance with my man, Michael Jackson. Smooth criminal, that's my man, Mike. So relax. Jingle, jingle in the jungle. Bum rush the door, 3 or 4's in a bundle. Energy divine, plus a cool like a fan. Got my gun at every guy. Know what Michael, cause it ain't hard to tell. It ain't too much. Stop. It ain't too much. It ain't too much for me. It ain't too much. Stop. Don't you? It ain't too much for me. It ain't too hard for me to jam. 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 It ain't too hard for me to jam.
MK Pulse proudly sponsors Seclo Sounds. MK Pulse is Milton Keynes' local magazine, bringing helpful information on food, health, fashion, money, travel, culture and much more to 84,000 people every month. Plus news, views and what's on from around the city. If it's happening in Milton Keynes, it's in MK Pulse and it's available online at www.mkpulse.co.uk. MK Pulse and Seclo Sounds, the heart and soul of the city.